Hey there, and welcome back to my channel. A few weeks ago, I posted a video about the Whimsigoth aesthetic, and now I'm covering the sister design style, Dark Academia. In this video, we'll cover the characteristics of this nostalgic, warm, and dark design, create a mood board for a room design using these elements, then head to the thrift store to see what kinds of Dark Academia treasures we can find. Dark Academia is a design style that romanticizes education and learning. It is characterized by a moody, old-world feel. The New York Times described it as a subculture with a heavy emphasis on reading, writing, and learning, and traced the style back to the mid-2010s on Tumblr. The Times credits its recent popularity to the stay-at-home orders that kept students out of physical classrooms. Pop culture references include movies like Harry Potter, Dead Poets Society, and Knives Out, due to their academic settings, references to the old world, and color palette. Dark Academia is a moody, maximalist style that often features dark-colored rooms and is decorated with vintage treasures, antiques, stacks of books, and other scholarly items. The color palette in a Dark Academia home will feature rich, dark colors like navy blue, burgundy, plum, olive green, and espresso. If you are embracing dark with your color scheme, you can go as bold as black, but for a less extreme color, you can try charcoal or deep green. Other popular color alternatives are rich, saturated jewel tones like emerald and teal. All of these colors can be paired with a dark wainscoting or rich-hued wallpaper. Dark Academia is composed and traditional. The vibe is that of a history or literature professor's office at an old university. So if you see lighter colors, they will be creamy whites, like the color of aged textbook pages or a letter with a coffee or tea stain on it. Popular patterns feature dark colors in moody floral and preppy plaid prints. To bring a bit of light, add metallic accents in the form of golden antique lamps, picture frames, and light fixtures. Copper, brass, and bronze are all used in the Dark Academia style and bring a bit of polish to the design. When it comes to Dark Academia's architecture, Gothic architecture is often referenced. Gothic architecture is an architectural style that developed in Europe and was popular during the High and Late Middle Ages, which was from the late 12th to the 16th century. It was characterized by a pointed arch, rib vaults, and flying buttresses, and stained glass windows. Dark Academia romanticizes this old world style while blending it with a modern, collegiate and boarding school prep style. Dark Academia designs are likely to feature walls and ceilings that are adorned with layers and textures, which may include molding, paneling, and wallpaper. Windows have stained glass and tracery. Built-in bookshelves are popular, as well as bunk niches, window seats, and built-in daybeds. Flooring will be traditional, timeless, and aged, using dark woods or dark tiles. Other prominent materials include leather, suede, and velvet, which appear on central furniture pieces. Blankets, throw pillows, curtains, and bed linens will use wool, velvet, cotton, tweed, or silk, which convey timeless luxury. Decorative accents often feature iron, marble, antique gold, brass, and bronze. Since the past plays an influential role in dark academia, antique furniture is an essential element of this style. Dark polished woods such as oak, walnut, and mahogany are common choices for dining tables, chairs, cabinets, and of course, bookshelves. Since academics and literature are pillars of this style, bookshelves will be a focal point in the room, often covering a whole wall in order to create a cozy library. As an alternative to bookshelves, you can bring in an antique secretary desk and a barrister's bookshelf, also known as lawyer's cabinets, both of which have glass doors. Add a Chesterfield sofa or studded chair. Wingback chairs are another option. Vintage carpets with patterns add texture and warmth, making the space feel luxurious. The furniture in dark academia often incorporates or references antiquated and old world accents, which adds to the overall aesthetic of the style. Lighting in a dark academia home is soft and low to gently illuminate each space. Rooms are dimly lit with antique lighting fixtures and flickering candles. Ambient and task lighting help create a cozy space meant for reading, thinking, and studying. A reading lamp is positioned next to a chair. A banker's lamp provides enough light on a desk for studying, while candles or firelight add a romantic glow, providing the perfect ambiance for cozying up with a book on a rainy day. Light fixtures are usually brass or bronze with considered details. Sometimes crystal chandeliers make an appearance. Ornately framed antique mirrors serve as focal points over a fireplace, dresser, or sofa, creating an illusion of a larger space. Dark academia is a style for maximalists, so when it comes to decorative accents, pile them on. Starting with the walls, layer sketches, oil paintings, and antique maps and mirrors in a gallery wall. Paintings may be moody landscapes, portraits of historical figures, or images associated with literature and education, like botanical prints and scientific illustrations. Vintage tapestries are popular as well as black and white or sepia-toned photographs. When decorating in the dark academia aesthetic, use vintage items with an old world vibe like antique typewriters, a magnifying glass, telescopes, silver trophies, globes, chess sets, and ornate bookends. Speaking of books, alongside the surplus of literature on the shelves, you'll find old cameras, clocks, and items made from mercury glass, as well as marble, alabaster, or plaster busts and statues reminiscent of the Renaissance. Now that we have an idea of the colors, materials, lighting, and other characteristics of dark academia, let's design a mood board in the style. For this design, I'm going to make a den, library, snug of a room. I'm going to lay down this dark wood, which I've used in the Whimsigoth mood board as well. I don't like repeats, but if it's not broke, don't waste time trying to find something better when you could be at the thrift store. For the walls, I knew I wanted built-in bookcases. If you're going to go full on with bookcases, a dark academia room seems like the place to do it. After looking for about an hour for the perfect dark wood bookcase that would work for this, I settled on this one from Raymore and Flanagan. For practical reasons, I wanted storage. For pretty reasons, I wanted a rounded top or more ornate design, but I'm a little limited on this platform, so I grabbed this one, and with some creative editing, I took it to the ceiling and gave myself a window seat, complete with a window. I chose this window because of the iron grid, which is a nod to the tracery found on Gothic windows. Since the floor and the bookcases are such a large presence in the room, I wanted to have those two pieces selected alongside a rug before I picked the paint color. I wanted an oriental rug with some green in it, and I found this one called the Spice Market Tigress Area Rug on Rugs Direct. I wanted an oriental rug because a Dark Academia design would have an antique or vintage rug. This is similar, but without that price tag. I wanted a green color to help the space feel alive. Now that I have a rug, I know the furniture is in the brown and black family, more on that later, so I want to pick a wall color. I started looking for something in the chocolate brown or espresso family and found Hasbrook Brown by Benjamin Moore. I like the idea that it is one of their historical colors, but I thought it was too dark against the black bookcases, and really it was just too brown. So I went looking for a green gray and found Millstone Gray by Benjamin Moore. Now the windows look a little funky, so I'm going to drop a landscape by John Constable in there. I mean, can you imagine curling up in that spot? Let's add a few more touches to make it even cozier. How about a tufted leather seat with a few throw pillows and a throw blanket? You're going to need some lighting in case you read into the night, so let's add some sconces. Since I'm not adding a crystal chandelier, I like that these sconces add a little sparkly romance, but the black base keeps it gothic. We'll definitely need a table for a cup of tea, coffee, or cocoa, and I found this iron one called the Stissing Martini Table from Roseland. Moving on to the furniture in the middle of the room, I found this beautiful brown English roll-arm sofa on Facebook Marketplace, as well as these two reading chairs. I looked for antique furniture on Facebook Marketplace, and these claim to be, but you really don't know until you're there in person. I know some of you guys probably thought I'd bring in a Chesterfield sofa, but I don't love tufted furniture because I just think of all the crumbs and dust collecting in the buttons. With these two chairs, we have a leather chair with an interesting design on the sides and the back, and a chair with a brown pattern, which adds a bit more interest. I'm going to bring in an oval-shaped antique coffee table with a marble top and two side tables to flank the couch. They will add storage and additional surface areas to display collectibles. Since the Dark Academia style values education, I'm bringing in a secretary desk for studying, writing, grading papers, that kind of thing. I'll give you a banker's lamp so that you can see what you're doing. When you're done studying, you can walk over to the bar and pour yourself a drink at the bar cart. Seeing as it's Dark Academia, it's probably a whiskey or bourbon. We have lit the window seat and the desk, but let's add some lamps next to the sofa as well. You may want to add a fireplace, some candles, art lights, and lighting in the bookcase. Speaking of bookcases, let's bring in our books. And a few academic-themed decorative accents like marble bookends, a globe, an urn, a silver trophy, and an hourglass. We'll place a marble bust over on the desk. I'm going to add some art on the bookcases and above the window. You could add a lot more art to the space, but this is a good start. Now, even though this is a dark space, we are going to want some greenery, so let's bring in some ferns and English ivy. I love ferns because there is something sort of wild about them, and the English ivy is a nod to the ivy that you might find on the exterior walls of a stone building on a college campus. Oh, I almost forgot this wingback chair for you to sit on when you're working at the desk. If you watched my Thanksgiving thrift and DIY video, you know that I recently acquired a wingback chair. I think wingbacks are a classic style of furniture and great for Dark Academia, which is a design that loves traditional elements. A few more soft touches like these velvet and tweed pillows. You'll definitely need a library ladder to reach the top of the bookcases. And you can really add a lot more decor and art, but I think that will do it for this Dark Academia design. Now, can we thrift it? So this feels academia, but more light academia than dark academia. But like, Greek or Roman goddess vibes, sculpture, Greek Italian situation. After looking through the art, I spent some time looking through drapery, curtains, and tablecloths. I was hoping to find velvet or other dark academia fabrics like tweed, maybe a print in a Moody floral or a Preppy plaid. You know we have to stop for books, and when it comes to books, I'm not judging you for having a beat-up paperback or being a hardcover-only person. As for the contents of your books, I once heard someone say that picking out a book for someone is like fitting them for a shoe. It's a difficult thing to do because it's so personal. I found a Harry Potter book while at this thrift store. I usually see books from that series while thrifting, Harry Potter and the Twilight books, but Twilight is more Whimsigoth than Dark Academia. Ed and I are currently watching the Harry Potter movies, and he's never seen them before. After watching Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Ed spent the rest of the night learning which Hogwarts house he's in and what animal is his Patronus. So I think it's safe to say that he's into Harry Potter now. Do you guys want to guess which house we're in? I'll give you a hint. We're not in the same house. These are under the counter, right? $3.99. That's pretty good, right? Oh my god! I think my sister had this. That might be more Whimsigoth, but I'm putting it in the cart. Like Thanksgiving to me. This looks like marble looking lamp for $7.99. Wish they had like reading lamp. A few weeks ago, I dropped a video about the Whimsigoth aesthetic, and someone commented wanting to know the difference between Whimsigoth and Dark Academia. Dark Academia and Whimsigoth have some overlap. They both favor dark and moody spaces and are very influenced by Gothic architecture. They both use antiques and vintage. Their designs are cozy and romantic. However, the whimsy element is one of the big differences. Whimsigoth designs will have references to magic, astrology, and astronomy, and a sense of playfulness in colors, furniture, lighting, and decor. In Dark Academia design, you will have more historical, worldly, and academic elements. While I referenced Harry Potter as an influence in Dark Academia, it's not the magic that is prevalent, it's the academics. It's the old stone buildings, the tapestries, the library with its old books, and the dining hall with its big, dark wooden tables and candlelight. Because Dark Academia romanticizes the collegiate and boarding school lifestyle. Whimsigoth is the girls from the craft with their potions, spells, and crystals, while Dark Academia is the boys in Dead Poet Society with their textbooks, plaid, and hooded toggle coats. That's definitely fine. I want a dark one for Dark Academia, but they don't have any. I have this dish as I'm using it as like a soap dish sponge holder. I knew it was going to say cookies or something. One I think said Bill's Popcorn on it at this place. So many beautiful dish sets. $60 pieces, 20 pieces, 54 pieces, 31 pieces, late in autumn. Oh, yes they are. Cute. All right, here is my Dark Academia pull. Starting in the back, I found a brown leather trash container and I picked up some black servingware as well as an iron candle sconce. I found a black metal pitcher, and behind it in the back there are some illustrations of ancient Rome, or maybe it's ancient Greece, I don't remember now, but that's perfect for Dark Academia. Next to the drawings is a dark floral painting, and I also pulled a painted metal basket with a floral design. I think the basket is a bit too soft, too cottagecore, but the Moody floral painting is closer to Dark Academia. To the right of the floral painting are 2 silver flutes and a glass candy dish with a brass piece on it. I think it might be leaning a little more light academia than dark academia, but I was looking for something shiny amidst all the dark. I also picked up that brown wooden chest with the brass on it. I was thinking that it could go on a professor's desk to hold their pencils, pens, paper clips, or some old letters. On top of that little desk organizer is a pretty silver or pewter-looking goblet or vase, which could hold your pens or maybe a collection of feathers. I found those 3 black wall decor pieces, which are actually like family crests or something. Family crests are super medieval, which is exactly what we're looking for with Dark Academia. You can also see that I picked up the little tortoise light because it was kind of giving me library vibes. I like the idea of the brown shell and how the light would create a warm glow coming out of it. A Dark Academia room would need ambient light like that. Obviously, I picked up a book, and on top of it is a little vase. It's in an urn style, and it's black, though it does have the flowers on it. If you want it to be a little more dark academia, just turn it around so you don't see the flowers. Next to the little vase is an iron book holder, which feels very dark academia in color, material, and function. That bag is full of brass pieces that are actually accessories that go with your tea, like a little spoon and a tray to hold your tea bag, which is super cute and super academic. You know, you're having a cup of tea while you're studying or reading for fun. Underneath everything is a green tablecloth. I was trying to work in sage green, which is in the color palette. I wish I had found a plaid that I liked. It probably would have been a better fit than the lace, which feels more light academia or Whimsigoth. But overall, the thrift store did provide some dark academia options. We went on a journey with this one, all the way from the medieval period through Hogwarts. What do you think? Are you feeling dark academia? I guess I was, because I walked away from the thrift store with the Moody floral painting and the little wooden chest of drawers. If you like thrifting, interior design, and DIY, hit subscribe and turn on your notifications. Next week, I think I'm covering interior design trends for 2025, and I'll give you my predictions. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.